So, we are now sum up by mentioning the civil rights that are found in India. Number 1, right to life. Number 2, right to family life. Number 3, right to education. Number 4, right to personal freedom. Number 5, right to religious freedom. Number 6, right to freedom of thought and expression. Right to freedom of movement, freedom of press, right to equality, right to justice, right to form associations, right to cultural freedom, rights to contract, and these are the civil rights. And as I have already told you, these civil rights are very necessary for the intellectual, social and economic development of the individuals, but for which individuals cannot thrive. So there is also which rights the citizens also have to perform certain duties, because without duties the rights will have no meaning. Now, at the beginning, actually, what is right we should have discussed. What is right? Rights are usually socially established ways of acting or ways of being treated. Rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom or entitlement. That is, rights are the fundamental normative rules about what is allowed of people or owed to people according to some legal system, and some social conventions and some ethical theories. So human rights are the basic rights and freedom to which all humans are entitled. Rights and freedom, which are often thought of human rights, include civil and political rights, such as the right to life and liberty, freedom of expression, and equality before law, and social, cultural, and economic liberty. Now, what are the legal rights in India? Can you say? As we cannot meet face to face, it is not possible for us to interact mutually. So, you know about the 6 fundamental rights recognized by the Constitution of India. Now, what are those legal rights? Right to equality, cultural and educational rights, right to freedom, right against exploitation, rights to freedom of religion, and right to constitutional remedies. And as I have told you, that most of these civil rights are also the legal rights. Now, what are the differences between a legal right and a civil right? The legal rights are those rights which are justiciable. You can go to the court if you are not allowed or you have been forbidden from doing something by citing some examples of law which may be unlawful in the court of law. So that way you will have to you have the right to take legal recourse for the violation of legal rights. And the fundamental rights are legal rights that are justiciable and not the all other rights. And you have studied in details about the fundamental rights, and you will find questions on fundamental rights also. So, certain other rights which are just mentioning. If your cylinder explodes, you are entitled to rupees 4 lakh cover. Number 2, You may be penalized for receiving gifts. Women can lodge complaints through emails. Delhi police has made this rule. The women have the power to lodge complaint through emails. Now the court has allowed live-in relationship. That is not illegal. Political parties can solicit your vehicle during elections. If you have been fined once in a day, you may be excused after that. If you do not have to stick to the MRP, you can buy for less. A police officer is always on duty, literally. So a police officer, by law, a right of a police officer is that he is on duty, literally for 24 hours. Now, regarding legal rights, I want to make it very clear to you that legal rights are protected by an ordinary law, but they can be altered or taken away by the legislature by changing the law. Fundamental rights are different, they cannot be taken away by legislature. This is very important. You may find a small question that the fundamental rights cannot be taken away by legislature. An ordinary legal right can be waived by an individual, but not in the case of a fundamental right. So, students under 7 are exempted from communal liability. Students under 18 comes under the definition of juvenile justice. And I have given you to study the juvenile rules, which you might find some questions on Juvenile Justice Act. Thank you.